Well, hello there, friends, ladies, gentlemen, fellow firearms enthusiasts. Welcome back to Crooked Horse Rifle and Pistol out of Lamar County, Mississippi. I bet you thought we were going to do a high power video. Yeah, you'd be wrong. Let's go to the bench and talk about the pistol that I want to show you. So as much as I love shooting my Springfield SA-35, and Springfield's high power clone, this isn't what today's video is going to be about. Now if you watched my previous episode, I promised you a video featuring the cousin of this P38 pistol. World War II era German pistol. What we have here is the Walther P4. Still with the box. Now the P4 was chambered in, like the P38, it was chambered in 9mm and was modeled off of the World War II era Walther P38 pistol. Now the P4 was used by several West German law enforcement agencies, as well as South African law enforcement would use the P4. Let's open this box here. Now production of the P4 started in 1975. It lasted till 1986. So in the box, we have, of course, our safety instructions. Now I'll tell you more about this, this stuff and this box, and a little bit later. Well, it definitely smells like someone's basement. It just smells old. So we got our holster. In the holster we have our one extra magazine. Then we have the pistol with the magazine. So like I said, production of this of the P4 started in 1975, lasted to 1986, and allegedly only 7,000 of these pistols were ever made or were manufactured. Now the P4 was not intended, or let me say, the P4 was intended to be really a stopgap for the West German police. During that time frame, there's a lot of several issues going on, particularly with homegrown terrorists, and they needed something more modern than the P38/P1s that they were carrying at the time. So the P4 really was just a stopgap for the West Germany until a modern, higher capacity firearm could be developed and adopted. Now the P4 would also be used. A few of them, out of that 7,000 lot, would be made available for the commercial market. And who the heck called me when I'm up on the range? We ain't answering that. Let's put some ammunition in this thing and see how she shoots. Again, it's just an 8-round magazine. Now the P4 allegedly is known for its accuracy. Let's see how a 49-year-old gun actually shoots. Alright, so again, 8-round magazine, single stack, and we're just shooting some 115 grain celery and below ammunition. So like I said earlier, very similar to the P38. Now here's our P4. And this one here is our P38. Very, very similar. Now the main similarities, without going into the intricate details of tearing it apart and stuff like that, like I said, it has the look and feel of the P38. Starting from the top, we got your similar fore and aft sights on there. Now a difference between the P38 and the P4 is on the P4 the sights have the white dot. There's still the front sight post, the white dot on there is long since been rubbed out, and the rear sight has some remnants of it in there. I don't see, not sure if you'll be able to tell in there, but it's there. Like the P38, the P4 has the 8-round single stack magazine, and the magazines look about the same. And another thing with the P4 and the that's similar to the P38 is they still maintain that heel magazine release. So still got the magazine release, and you still have to physically pull it out instead of just letting the magazine drop out. P4 maintains that nice, classic curved trigger, which to me I just find extremely comfortable in shooting that nice curved trigger. Now for some differences. First, you pick up the P4, after you've held a P38, one of the first things you're going to notice is the weight. There's considerable weight difference in this. Your barrel is about a 1/2 inch shorter, and the front sight post is just a tad bit thicker on it, as well. your rear sight has a screw, has a screw that holds that sight in place. Again, let's see if we can get in there. Might be. Right there's a screw that holds this sight in place. That is not a windage adjustment. That is just there to hold that sight there. Another major difference is the safety feature on the P4. The safety feature on this, when you engage the safety on the P4, all this is going to do is decock it. That is the only safety feature. It doesn't lock the trigger. If you notice the hammer between the P38 and the P4, the P30 or the P4 now it has more of a bobbed hammer on it. This here's your P38. See how it comes out a lot more, versus your P4. And your grips, they went from the the Bakelite grips to more to a plastic checkered grip, which, to be quite honest with you, feels just a little bit more comfortable in the hand than the P38. I know, at least for me. But I'm itching to shoot this pistol some more. So let's reload these magazines. And just by chance, I'm going to put some ammunition in the let's see if the P38 magazine will work in the P4. I mean, it locks in there. Let's see, we'll check, do a test and I'll see if it fires. Now from what my research has found, tells me, the parts of the frame are interchangeable with the P38. However, none of the parts on the slide are interchangeable. So with the magazine, we're going to start with that Walther P38 magazine to see if it works in this P4. We're also going to start out in double action mode. So we're going to decock it. And just a word of caution, a word of advice. Now for pistols, whether they be old or modern, don't put 100% absolute faith in that decocking lever. You always point that pistol in a safe direction. Alright, let's see if we can't hit anything. Alright, so we know that the P38 not slide, but the P38 magazine will function in a P4. Alright, let's see if we can't reach out and touch some of them targets out there. Yeah, got a couple of them out there. So I was able to reach out there and get a few of them targets. I think the furthest one I hit was probably about, I think that orange one's about 70 yards out. Well, let's go back to the bench. So P4 did not really spend a whole bunch, very long time in service to West Germany. In fact, various accounts of it, suggest that the P4, not too long before it was just, accepted into service, that they already found the replacement. So after the P4 was replaced, many of them were bought up and imported by a company called Interarms, and the ones that were imported by Interarms, on the right part of the slide, there is a indentation. Let me see if we can't get in there. Right along the slide, there's that little indentation. Well, what that indentation was, they had before they were shipped stateside, Walther sent them to another company. I forget the name of it. To have the police acceptance stamp removed from them. Now, Interarms, just a little fun fact, was dissolved, not too long after, its founder Samuel Cummings died, in 1998. Now, these pistols, these P4s, you can come across them, and I know on, auction websites like gunbroker.com, and you probably see them, occasionally, here and there, various gun shows. Now, one thing, if you're interested, if you come across one and you're interested in purchasing one, be very wary. When sellers, want to throw out terms such as, very rare or scarce. Granted, only 7,000 of them were made, but I don't believe that rare or scarce fits the term. I mean, you could do just go to gunbroker.com and do a search, and they'll pull up, and of course, a lot of them unscrupulous sellers, they'll capitalize on that term, on those terms of rare and scarce, to try to convince you that you should pay over $1,000 for that pistol. Now, is that pistol worth over $1,000? I don't know. An item is only about as worth as much as you're willing to pay for it. We're going to start out in single action mode. slide didn't rock back to the rear. Again, kind of comes with the territory on these older firearms. Now, just like the P38, you know, the P4 is a very comfortable pistol, you know, in my opinion, to shoot. Let's check the trigger action on this thing. Start, you know, in the hammer back. Not much uptake. Real nice reset. And then double action mode. Really not as much uptake before you hit that wall. So wall, you know, not like I said, not much uptake, you know, compared to the P38. Now, overall, I think comparing the P38 with the P4, I'd rather shoot the P4. Now, this particular pistol, you know, the history behind it. Now, this pistol was manufactured in November 1975. What were you doing in November 1975? Heck, I imagine some of you probably weren't even born yet. Anywho, this, like I said, was manufactured in 1975 and was issued to the Federal Ministry of the Interior, which oversaw, their federal law enforcement. Now, this particular pistol was likely carried by their border patrol, and I know that because of the stamps here on the, just under the slide. Now, a lot of these pistols that you come by, the P4s, are going to be, they're not going to be, honestly, they're not going to be fired much. They're going to be in extremely in pretty darn good condition. I mean, this one here, other than some minor scrapes on the grip, on the plastic grips, there's really not much sign like it, that it was shot very much, compared to the spree work here that just looks like it just looks like it's seen battle. So you're gonna, like I say, so these things here, you're gonna find them in, pretty well conditioned. Now this one here is in pretty exceptional, it's pretty, in exceptional condition, in my opinion. So about the box, let's move some of this out of here. So like I said earlier, the P4s, once they were, the West German government decommissioned them. They were, a lot of them were bought up and imported by Interarms, and of course, Interarms, they create, they packaged them under, with the Walther brand, but under their import name. And if you're fortunate enough to get an import pistol that doesn't, that has just the Interarms stamp, is just hidden right under the slide release there. You can barely see it. Other ones I've seen, have it just stamped right along the side, big and ugly, kind of like how Century Arms does theirs. So you got the the box there, with the Interarms label on it, and you can see on here how they also did their, their way of upselling it. Here. The world famous double action system previously issued West German police pistols. And also, quick thing, the P4 will be the last of the P38 variants as well. So in the box, on this yellowing piece of paper is the P4 instructions. All here. Again, these instructions were printed by Intra Arms. And even on the back, this warning thing mentions about the safety on it. But all the safety does is just decocks it. And even then, come with your safety book. Their safety warning booklet. But if you could find a P4 that still has its original box, I'd say that's probably a pretty good find. The holster was just your standard, West German military style holster, made of leather. With your storage for your additional magazine. And this holster was manufactured in September of 1962, and was probably originally made for the P1 / P38. It fits in there just like the glove the P38 does. And instead of having entirely new lots of holsters made, they probably just took that holster and swapped it out. So ladies and gentlemen, friends, fellow firearms enthusiasts, I'd like to thank you for coming out here and joining us again at Crooked Horse Rifle and Pistol out of Lamar County, Mississippi, and allowing me to showcase for you the cousin of the Walther P38, the Walther P4, the last of the P38 line, and also a piece of short-lived history of West Germany. So until the next time, thank you for shooting with us.